What's up guys, it's Nitin here from acentasecond, and today we'll be discussing how to get a job, or at least approach the interview process in a better way. So this is kind of a different type of video that I usually post. I usually post math videos, very in-depth or very tutorial-based, easy tips. But I really want to expand and see what else you guys might want to see, and I just want to give you advice and tips because I've been through a lot and I know you guys can benefit from that, and I just want to help you guys with anything. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing you want to do when you go for a job interview is exhibit confidence, but not too much. So you basically want to show that you are confident in your abilities, and you, even if you lack abilities that they require, you are willing to learn and very open to it. So a lot of these companies where the associates and the startups where you're just a newbie there, they're not expecting much from you. You really don't need to stress it because they're not expecting much, and they want someone that's willing to learn and just can adapt on the fly. And we're really good at that, millennials. We can adapt in any situation and basically just do it. We can just Google it, ask someone. And the main thing you want to do is show that you're very willing to learn. So the second thing you want to do is be honest with them, but also be honest with yourself. Be honest in the capabilities you have. It goes off of the first one. You want to be confident what you're good in, but also stand up for what you're not good in. Because you don't want them to have an idea of you that does not exist. They will have expectations of you that you may not be able to fulfill, and it does more damage than good. Although it may get you the job, if you can't do it, you're kind of screwed. So really be honest during the interview process that I have this type of skill level on this basis, and I'm very willing to learn. I'm very interested in the topic. If given the opportunity, I will continue to do so. So before I get into more tips, you guys might want to ask, so what type of jobs have you done, and how have you handled this process? So basically I've interned with a lab. So we did research on nanoparticles when I was in high school, and then recently I'm an actuary, so I'm training to become an actuary, and I'll go further into what an actuary is in a later video, but you can Google it if you want. But I've interned at Swiss Re, and I'm now interning at Axis Capital. Both of those are very highly regarded insurance companies and pretty hard to get into, even though the job market is pretty well for interns right now. But with COVID, it's kind of So what I did when I approached these situations is I did not stress it, because you cannot go into the interview thinking that this is your only way out. You want to go in there knowing that you have options, but this is not me one and done. If I don't get this, I'm screwed for the rest of the summer. You have to show that you're not desperate for the job, and also you are kind of really need it, right? Because we all want the job, but who can showcase that less and is better capable and a better candidate will be the person who gets the job at the end. So that's what I tend to go into when I go to these interviews. I usually say, okay, I try to have a conversation with them and try to just hit it off in any sort of topic. That's why you have to be very well versed in a lot of different areas. You have to be, if someone likes sports, you gotta like sports. If they like reading books, just know a few books, just know a few things about everything, and you'll have something to talk about. If you don't have anything in common, talk about schools, talk about what they work about, because I can guarantee you they love talking about what they work on, because that's literally what they do every day. They want to show off what they work on because it makes them feel good. And you're like, okay, now I can talk about this, learn more about you, and you just initiate the whole conversation instead of a whole bland conversation of what was your experience, what was your experience. If you try to get them to talk more, it will help you along the line. It makes you stand out because you will be someone that you had a genuine conversation with, and they will remember that, and that's a mental note that makes you stand out. So those are some of the tips that I would give someone if they are stressed out about a job, they really need it, and they're kind of desperate and they might not have the criteria to match. And I would always suggest someone apply to every single job opportunity if possible, because before I got Access, I interviewed with at least a dozen companies. And what that allows you to do is you pick the best option. You're basically like that free agent in baseball, and that you can pick any team you want to go to, basically. And if you don't get 12, you don't need to get all 12. You just need to get one. And because you picked the ones that you wanted to apply to in the first place. And as an intern or as a person starting in any industry, you don't really need to worry about where you're starting your career, because that's not where you're going to end off. That's where you're going to start. Be willing to take any opportunity presented to you, because it doesn't really matter in the beginning. You're like 20 something years old. Like, you have no liabilities, no financial debts to anyone. You probably live with your parents. You don't have a wife or children. So you can take as many risks as you want, not worry about it, and you're fine. I mean, who are you gonna hurt? Only yourself in the time being. And you can pick yourself up real quick. So that's my advice for approaching job interviews. It's very, I guess, unconventional in the sense that you want to focus less on the job, focus on your skills, how you can help the company be someone that someone else is willing to work with. Because if they can't work with you, if you're boring, you don't know, like, you can't have small talk and have an interest in them as a person and as a company, they might not want to have you, because they're gonna have to see you every single day, or at least 5 times a week. So always keep that in mind. Be open, just talk more, connect more, have more connections. The more people talk about you, the more people you talk with, you just expand your knowledge. And at the moment you might not realize it, but those little tidbits here and there add up, and it just may come up in a conversation. So those are some of the tips and advice I might have for someone going for a job interview. If you like this type of video, let me know down in the comments, and share with your friends if they might have a job interview coming up and they might need some assistance in that thing. But if you need any help, advice, math tutoring, or any type of anything, just let me know. I'm here for you. Peace out.